However, I wanted to make this video now because I'm noticing that a lot of people are hyping up Snow's BT effect, and I just want to explain what it does, what makes the effect strong, and what makes it not so strong in his performance in SHINRYU. Disclaimer about this video is the footage that you are seeing is not my footage. This footage is from other fellow content creators, SimplyLost and Alphinaud. I did get permission from both of them to use their footage for this video, so I wanted to give a thank you to both of them for allowing me to use said footage. So with that out of the way, let's talk about Snow's BT effect, what makes it strong, what makes it pretty kind of overhyped by a lot of people in the community, and its viability in SHINRYU. So some of you probably don't know what Snow's BT effect does, and if that's the case, I will explain it briefly. The BT effect is party ice enchant, party brave damage up by 50%, brave damage cap up by 20%, and party brave refund by 50% after an HP attack. The biggest thing about the BT effect is the 15% party refund, which is refund can be affected by brave gain up calls, AAs, and units in the party. What makes this effect so strong, you might ask? Well, it does have party ice enchant, which is something Snow needed for a long time. It took them until his BT to give it to him. It has the 50% brave refund for the party after an HP attack. This helps characters who do a lot of HP attacks but don't have refund in their kits, such as Null, Vayne, Gilgamesh, Sid, and a good chunk of other units. If you add this with someone with Brave Gain or HP damage cap up to the party, like Y'shtola, who has 50% Brave Gain, Ramza with HP damage cap up of 51%, Laguna, Garnet, Rem, Maria, basically anyone with HP damage cap up or any sort of Brave Gain, you have with Snow a very strong DPS, or a high or HP damage cap up unit. You basically have a very strong party where everyone is refunding after each HP attack and not going below the amount they refunded, which, let's say you do approximately like max bravery damage on an EX, right? Let's say, right? If you do that damage, you actually refund 50% of that damage, meaning that after you did that much damage, you're refunding that amount. So you can basically make a lot of units who don't have refund in their kit hit the most astronomical numbers and be more consistent with their damage. I know a lot of people love using this effect with characters such as Sid, Vayne, like I mentioned, and another unit I'm trying to think of, I can't really remember. There's also the addition that Snow is also a tank, who, unless you somehow mess up and die with Snow, which is very impossible to do unless it's a boss mechanic or it's like a Lufinia orb, but we know we're almost 1 month away from SHINRYU, he can still do stupid solid levels of damage. We've seen what HP damage cap up can do to a unit. It's very powerful, and I think Snow definitely has a very strong BT effect. However, I'm going to go into what makes it not as strong as some people think it is. I know I mentioned a good amount of how much Snow's BT effect can enable a lot of units, and while that is true, you don't really need Snow's effect abuse if you have the units who already refund enough on their own. And something that sucks is Snow doesn't have HP damage cap up, but if it did, I'm sure it would be way too busted for this point in the game. Mind you, it can be taxed by Brave Gain reduction. For example, a stage with, let's say, 80% Brave Gain reduction, right? Unless you have another Brave Gain unit to help counteract that, you will only get 30% of that refund, which isn't terrible, mind you, but it is a hindrance to the BT effect. His niche is as strong as your party's ability to abuse that niche. There's a reason why I list the units who don't have any sort of refund, retain, or max play for, is because those units who don't have that sort of ability to do that a benefit off of that effect. And now with C90 era, all these characters that are coming are now getting like 4 or 5 HP dumps in their kit. There really aren't units that really need to abuse it like that. Oh, and since we're talking about abusing effects, let's talk about the Iroha call nonsense. Since, in my honest opinion, this is one of the most unneeded things to do right now in the game. I'm going to link a video from a YouTuber named Nightingale in the description so you guys can see it for yourself. But the gist is this only works for BT units, mind you, so this does not work for LD only units. Alright, so let's get on with what it is. You have Snow with either Y'shtola, Ramza, or whatever crazy refund character that, or like Kira who just came out, for example, right? Load your characters that have nothing but Brave Gain up calls, and some characters also have Brave Gain AAs. Give Snow the Iroha call, and then what you want to do is you want a BT finisher with Snow first, then the support, and then last the DPS. Basically the main BT effect you're going to be using. Now, if you do this all in the right sequence, Iroha call will give the DPS, the main BT unit you're basically using, right, the refund amount of the finisher that they did. And then this is what causes this whole ridiculous nonsense of something I like to call snow flow. It sounds so dumb, but that's what I'm going to call it. Basically what this means is that your character is basically hitting beyond the cap they're supposed to be able to hit. This is what causes stuff like Yogamish's S1 to potentially do over 800k, even though it definitely shouldn't be hitting that much for a 2-dump HP attack. It looks flashy, it looks nice and all that stuff. But here's the reason why I think no one should be hyping up this BT effect for that reason. While that sounds nice and dandy, it takes so much setting up to do, and you also have to time everything correctly in order for it to work. And if you don't time this stuff correctly, well, you just wasted your time with 3 slots of calls that you can use for something better, like Kurasame or Seymour, or something that's going to be more beneficial to the party. This is also coming from the same people I feel like that are the ones that were hyping up Sid Mao, Yida Roth, and Nocta Zero turning, and when they couldn't figure out how to set it up right, they just rage quit and said it was too difficult. In all honesty, you are much better at running Snow as the way he's intended than slotting in a character who increases Brave Gain, HP damage cap up, or anything else that would fit the bill. And then also, not only that, this nonsense doesn't really work in SHINRYU. If you look at SHINRYU, right, no one's doing it. Well, maybe there are some few people out there who are doing it, and then you're not seeing it in videos, but there's a good reason why people don't do it, because it's not needed at all. SHINRYU also has an 80% HP damage reduction, a passive one, keep in mind. So the fact that it has that is built in to counteract the snow nonsense. So that's why I highly advise you not to do it. I personally won't be doing that because that is very, very needy. It's a bunch of setting up for no reason. It's not consistent. You would much rather be consistent with Snow rather than just relying on a gimmick that doesn't work. But that's what my opinion on that is. Next, I want to talk about his SHINRYU viability. First off, that Iroha call nonsense you guys want to hype up so much, that gets shut down in SHINRYU because of the 80% reductions that bosses have. And like I mentioned before, consistency over complexity. So you can just throw the idea out the window. Snow in SHINRYU is essentially the same utility character. However, with SHINRYU, it is a different ballpark. With FR gauge going into account, bosses having ridiculously high HP, and you're going to be bringing characters who play off the FR gauge. While I'm not saying that Snow doesn't have an FR that he can play off of, he does not have FR boards, meaning that he's going to be charging your gauge a lot less than with someone who would be having boards. He also does not have a rework in JP, which honestly I don't think he really needs one right now, but that's just my opinion, even though they just announced that BT pluses are available for reworks, so we can see what happens with that in the future. JP has started doing elemental lockouts to restrict elemental based units, so since Snow is an ice element, he will be affected by it. This also goes by resistant to physical. And if you're wondering how those lockouts work, it basically gives them a reduction so high that no matter what you do, you will be hitting once, unless you're bringing Setzer, obviously. But Snow has shown that he really doesn't have to care about that when he and the party are refunding like crazy if you do decide to do such tactic. So this has been proven to be useful in the Spiritus Brother fight, any fight that basically tries to lock out Snow, or any type of strategy you can use. He basically is if you want to go for some really ridiculous nonsense while also doing a lot of damage, you can also choose to do that. He definitely has the results to back it up, and if you invest in him and want to use him a lot, there you go. That's basically his viability in SHINRYU. I also could decide to, if you guys really want me to, I can make a whole playlist of Snow's uses in SHINRYU, because he has use in early SHINRYU, not mid SHINRYU, because I guess we're still kind of like in early SHINRYU. I don't know how long it's been since SHINRYU started. I think like 4 or 5 months. But that's basically Snow and SHINRYU. Now that all of that is out of the way, how strong is Snow's BT Plus effect? If you have a team to build around the whole Brave refund shenanigans and its units who don't really have strong or no refunds built into their kit, combined with HP damage cap up or any sort of Brave gain up, then it is a strong BT effect. However, I'm not going to deny that it is definitely overhyped for the wrong reasons. I mention this every time, the Iroha CHEs, it's not worth it. And honestly, if you can't do Sid Mao, if you can't do Yidarov, if you can't do Noctis zero turning, if you can't set up things correctly, then I highly doubt that you will even bother with this sort of nonsense, because it's just there for clicks. There's no reason to really do it later down the line. You're much better off using Snow as a regular unit. Personally, I'm going to be 3-3ing him because of the utility he provides as a tank to the party, and I'm going to prefer him to be more consistent rather than complicated nonsense. Anyways, that's all for this video. Again, I was going to save this video for when Snow's BT cycle actually started, but I felt like doing it now as someone who is also hyped for Snow. But it's also another thing to realize how something could be overhyped for the wrong reasons or reasons that are pretty ridiculous. Oh, and if you ask anyone how strong Snow's BT effect is, I'm pretty sure they will not tell you why it's so strong or how well it aged. But again, I want to thank you, SimplyLost and Alphinaud, for allowing me to use your footage for this video. And I hope you guys have a good day and take care.